Hey guys, good morning. Now today's morning time is 6 o'clock, and I am creating these videos for you to improve your knowledge about the Customs Act 1962 and about the customs clearance, import and export goods. So guys, I am the first person in India who is giving in detailed so much knowledge to you on this YouTube channel. So in the previous videos, we have already seen up to the chapter number 12 provisions relating to coastal goods and vessels carrying coastal goods. So in this video, we are going to see chapter number 12A. Chapter number 12A is of audit. It is inserted in the 2018. It is inserted by Finance Act 2018. So what is 12A audit chapter? So in the same, there is one section, section 99A, audit. The proper officer may carry out the assessment of imported goods or export goods or of an auditee under this act, either in his office or in the premises of the auditee in such manner as may be prescribed. So there is rules in regards of customs audit. So custom audit regulations 2018, the rules we're also going to see in a short time. Now in this section 99A provision explanation given here, for the purposes of this section, auditee means a person who is subject to an audit under this section and includes an importer or exporter or custodian approved under section 45. So what is section 45? Restrictions and custody and removal of imported goods. So section 45 is restriction on custody and removal of imported goods or licensee of a warehouse and any other person concerned directly or indirectly in clearing, forwarding, stocking, carrying, selling or purchasing of imported goods or export goods or dutiable goods. So section 99A is of audit. Once again, I am repeating, the proper officer may carry out the audit of assessment of imported goods or export goods or of an auditee under this act, either in his office or in the premises of the auditee in such manner as may be prescribed. Explanation for the purposes of this section. Auditee means a person who is subject to an audit under this section and includes an importer or exporter or custodian approved under section 45 or licensee of a warehouse or any other person concerned directly or indirectly in clearing, forwarding, stocking, carrying, selling or purchasing of imported goods or export goods or dutiable goods. So auditee means importer or exporter or custodian approved under section 45. So which regulations are here under section 99A audit? The customs audit regulations 2018 regulations are there. So we are going to see these regulations now. The regulations comes under notification number 45 oblique 2018 customs non-tariff dated 24th May 2018. So the customs audit regulations 2018 very important in customs clearance for importer or exporter or custodian. Okay, so in the same, in exercise of the powers conferred by Clause K of Section 157, read with Section 99A, and Clause 2nd of Subsection 2 of Section 158 of the Customs Act 1962, 52 of 1962, and in supersession the on-site post-clearance audit at the premises of the importers and exporters, Regulations 2011, except as respect things done or omitted to be done before such supersession, the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs hereby makes the following regulations, namely. Okay, so in the same regulation, first is short title and commencement. In the regulation first, sub-regulation 1, these regulations may called the Customs Audit Regulations 2018. Sub-regulation 2. They shall come into force on the date of their publication in the official gazette. In the Customs Audit Regulations 2018, there is Regulation 2 definitions. In the regulation, unless the context otherwise requires, Clause A Act. Act means the Customs Act 1962, 52 of 1962. The Customs Act 1962 has been implemented from 1st February 1963. So in the regulation 2 definitions, there is sub-regulation B, audit. Audit audit includes examination or verification of declaration, record, entry, document, import or export license, authorization, script, certificate, permission, etc., books of account, test or analysis reports, and any other document relating to imported goods or export goods or dutiable goods, and may include inspection of sample and goods if such sample or goods are available and where necessary draw of samples. Clause C, auditing. Auditee means a person who is subject to an audit under Section 99A of the Act and includes an importer or exporter or custodian approved under Section 45 or a licensee of a warehouse and any other person concerned directly or indirectly in clearing, forwarding, stocking, carrying, selling or purchasing of imported goods or export goods or dutiable goods. So, in the Clause D, audit report. Audit report includes the audit findings in the report prepared after the audit containing details about objections raised by the proper officer and explanation given by the auditee if any. Clause E, books of account, includes ledgers, day books, cash books, account books, other account related a record, whether kept in written or printed form or stored electronically. Clause F, electronic records, means data or a record stored in any form and manner relevant for the purposes of audit under Section 99A of the Act. Clause G, premises, includes the registered office, branch office, warehouse, factory or any other premises at which imported goods or export goods or dutiable goods or books of account or records of transaction or other related documents in relation to the said goods are ordinarily kept for any purpose by an auditee. Clause H, words and expressions used and not defined herein but defined in the Act have the same meaning respectively assigned to them in the Act. Regulation 3, audit to preserve and make available relevant documents. In the same subregulation 1, the auditee shall preserve and, on request by the proper officer, make available in a timely manner for the purposes of audit true and correct information, records, including electronic records, documents, or accounts maintained in compliance of the provisions of this Act or regulations made thereunder or any other law for the time being in force, maintained for a minimum period of 5 years in relation to imported goods or export goods or dutiable goods. Subregulation 2 in the Regulation 3, auditee to preserve and make available relevant documents. The auditee shall render assistance to the proper officer and his team of officers in the discharge of their official duty and shall in no case refuse or obstruct the officer or his team of officers in discharge of their official duty. So Regulation 3 is auditee to preserve and make available relevant documents. Regulation 4, selection for audit. Regulation 4, selection for audit. The selection of auditee or the selection of import declarations or export declarations, as the case may be, for the purposes of audit shall primarily be based on a risk evaluation through appropriate selectivity criteria. Regulation 4, selection for audit. Regulation 5, manner of conducting audit. Regulation 5, manner of conducting audit. Regulation 5, manner of conducting audit. Subsection 1, the proper officer may conduct audit either in his office or in certain cases at the premises of an auditee. Subregulation 2, the proper officer may, where considered necessary, request the auditee to furnish documents, information, or record, including electronic record, as may be relevant to audit. Sub Regulation 3, the proper officer shall give not less than 15 days advance notice to the auditee to conduct audit at the premises of the auditee. Sub-Regulation 4, the proper officer may, where considered necessary, inspect the imported goods or export goods or dutiable goods at the premises of the auditee or request to auditee to produce sample if available with him. Subregulation 5. The proper officer shall inform the auditee of the objections if any preparing the audit report to provide him an opportunity to offer clarifications with supporting documents. Subregulation 6. Where the auditee is in agreement with the audit findings, he may make voluntary payment of duty, interest, or other sums due, if any, in part or in full, and the proper officer shall record the same in the audit report. Subregulation 7. Where the proper officer has asked the auditee to furnish information, document, record, or sample for the purposes of audit, it shall be mandatory for the proper officer to inform outcome of such audit to the auditee. Subregulation 8. The proper officer shall complete audit in cases where it is conducted at the premises of the auditee within 30 days from the date of starting of the audit, provided that the jurisdictional commissioner of customs may extend the period of completion of audit from 30 days to 60 days by an order in writing. So, provided that the jurisdictional commissioner of customs may extend the completion of audit from 30 days to 60 days by order in writing. Regulation 6, assistance of professionals. So Regulation 6 is assistance of professionals. In the same subregulation 1, if the proper officer, having regard to the nature and complexity of the audit, is of the opinion that the audit has to be done with the assistance of a professional like chartered accountant, cost accountant, an expert in the field of computer sciences or information technology, etc., may do so with the previous approval of the principal commissioner of customs. So Regulation 6, assistance of professionals. Regulation 7, penalty. Regulation 7, penalty. Any auditee who contravenes any provisions of these regulations or abets such contravention or fails to comply with any provision of these regulations with which it was his duty to comply shall be liable to a penalty which may extend to 50,000 Indian rupees. So, penalty up to 50,000 rupees can be imposed on a auditee if he contravenes any provisions of these regulations or abets such contravention or fails to comply with any provisions of these regulations which is his duty. So, there is a fine up to 50,000 Indian rupees. Okay. So these are the seven regulations in the Customs Audit Regulations 2018. Very important regulations. So you have to do study of the same thoroughly. Please listen these videos again and again to improve your knowledge about the Customs Act, the Customs clearance. So guys, we will meet you in the next video with another topic, with another chapter and sections. Till time, bye bye and take care.